Welcome Lifter to a free lesson on how to make living lean easier, made for you, by the Recreational Lifters. In this lesson we explore the 8 secrets to do this and never rebound by evolving into the best version of yourself. With this information you will be able to take your time with the exercise stuff and eliminate all the most common roadblocks that lead to unwanted fat storage. Before we start, we ask to show us some support by liking and subscribing now. Thank you. The first secret to living lean is control emotional eating. Myself included, is guilty of not being 100% rational with every choice I make with what I put into my body. What's more important than being perfect is beginning to control the balance between rational and emotional food choices. We make both, and before we ditch something, we can find progress by switching instead. In this case, that is switching the ratio of healthy food habits versus emotion food habits. 2 first actions people start with are usually planning meals in advance and simply choosing healthier options like Chipotle versus Pizza Hut. Really there is 2 main philosophies you can take on this. First way is portion control, everything in moderation so long as it fits your macros. This is in my own experience the fastest way and most realistic for most people. Unless you have the history of a long-standing habit of making healthy choices, ditching old habits before switching them is next to impossible. It can be done, only with remarkable self-discipline. However, for lifters new to the lifestyle, catching your balance takes precedence before you learn to flex new habits. But, at the same time, there is no need to discourage you from trying to ditch certain things right out the gate. This is option number 2. Go all in, and ditch all the bad habits. This strategy obviously requires 100% self-discipline, but will provide faster and better results compared to the first option. Quitting a bad habit like smoking or drinking might even be your reason for starting to exercise. If it is, we'd say you're definitely on the right track. Exercise is the best source of dopamine to replace the loss of dopamine you'd experience when some of your favorite vices have been ditched. What's most interesting with this philosophy/approach is that it makes it easier to start other good habits. When you master one habit, you gain the skill of habit making. This skill is what allows you to multiply those habits into new habits you want programmed. Radically quitting alcohol, even if pre-planned for just 4 months to get shredded before your wedding, will still give you enough time to start developing this skill. It's a skill like anything else and can be used to leverage adopting other new skills we want to habitualize. Consistently making the same choice means the brain doesn't need work very hard on making a decision, because it will just anticipate the norm. This is all a habit really is, it is our brain's default energy efficient mode. The brain loves to keep it chill, the brain is always down to lower energy exertion whenever possible. When we think of what we talked about in terms of what stress is, this clearly shows the proactive effort required to keep the brain out of a state of de-stress. Go back to the lesson after this video to refresh if needed. When you start to make these types of changes intentionally, the brain picks up on this and interconnects those neurons to begin fusing the habits into one. The power of superstition shows us its magic here every time we see a professional athlete's warm-up pre-game. Many athletes insist on doing their own warm-up or ritual before a game because it works for them. Some even wear certain underwear to keep all the T's crossed and I's dotted. It's all a part of the superstition that if they keep doing these habit loops, they'll keep having good games. They'll swear by its power, and it's because it's all real. That game ritual they do, pre-maximum exertion, triggers a habit loop that releases massive amounts of dopamine and serotonin that the mind then craves more of to feel good. So they restart the habit cycle, work hard, perform their rituals pre-game, and then get to play hard to complete the ritual and be rewarded with good feelings. We can use the power of habit cycles too by pairing a trigger with a reward to make any habit stick. For example, you have a favorite pre-workout that triggers hard effort in the gym, that provides the same rush of endorphins as drinking after work. Whichever option you chose to try, whether going all in or making slower switches, give it 4 to 8 weeks minimum before you give up. Regardless of how many mistakes you made, it takes this duration of time to install a habit. 30 to 60 days is the sweet spot where you feel all the pieces start coming into place. Remember, there is no one more disciplined than you lifter, you're going to make it happen. The second secret to living lean is to chew, and chew some more. Food is delicious, vibrant, and a textural experience. All of these factors make it complex to be tagged in the mouth before it drops into our bellies, where it can rest in there like a baby in a cradle. Food can taste so good we forget to breathe, or sometimes we just feel that hungry. You probably already know this to be true, but we really need to chew our foods until it's mush. And that's a good thing, it gives us the time to process the complex senses and savor the rich flavors of our food. We feel so much calmer when we eat like this too. We're even learning that this calm state, sometimes referred as the rest and digest state of the nervous system, does exactly that. It helps us digest our food. Optimizing digestion is key for health in general, we know this, but what's key to understand is that our stomach doesn't have teeth. That means if our food can still be broken down further if chewed, our stomach isn't made to deal with it yet. Fully chewing your food not only improves digestion, but it also makes you less hungry. One way this is happening is you are providing enough time for your stomach to communicate with your brain and tell it you're full. This full feeling happens because the release of the leptin hormone. This is another habit of lean living people. They still enjoy food and eat a lot, but they actively avoid putting themselves into a comatose state every Taco Tuesday. Some say 30 or 40 bites, but counting is unnecessary. Just chew it till it can't be chewed, because remember, your stomach doesn't have teeth. The third secret is not drinking fluids with meals. This may come as a surprise to some folk who religiously carry a gallon of water with them everywhere. Most of us do need to be adding more H2O into our bodies, but the problem with drinking fluids with a meal is it dilutes the stomach's acid. With a pit of diluted stomach acid, it's much more difficult to break down food. This physically won't feel good and sometimes can lead to heartburn. Heartburn is the feeling you get when acid splashes up your esophagus. Not very fun at all if you ask me. So slow down for max absorption and avoid fluids before and after eating to preserve max absorption as well. If you're drinking extra water to limit binge eating, we recommend switching to secret number 2. Just to add really quickly, sparkling/carbonated water is the worst option. The carbonation will reduce the acidity of the stomach acid, making it hard for our stomach to do what it's supposed to do. That means regardless of chewing, your gut has to work overtime. Make peace with your digestive system and your fitness and health goals will always be realized faster. Secret number 4 is lean living people actually enjoy activity. This means that if your job is mostly sedentary and are just starting to make the lifestyle switch, you need to start with an activity you actually enjoy. Thinking you'd enjoy the most masochistic form of activity is ridiculous. While at the same time the Iron Legion grows more popular every year, it still might be a better idea to focus on an activity you enjoy instead of the gym, if starting from square one. You know you need to strength train, and yes, that is true for everyone, but building traction is the first goal to get. Again, once you start making traction by mastering a new habit, you have a skill to flex and make stronger. Adding the gym next is going to make it more likely to stick for the rest of your life. Secret number 5, eating less on low activity days. This sorta ties into secret number 1, but specifically it's about getting in sync with what your body actually needs. Remember, secret number 1 is about harnessing some sort of balance and then progressively shifting that balance more favorably. To eat less on low activity days does not require you to have shifted the balance in any way, only that you have harnessed a balance. This simple nutrition timing tip can make it a lot easier to lose fat and build muscle when combined with resistance training. The variance in daily calorie intake can improve our insulin sensitivity. This increased sensitivity helps us to store more excess energy into muscles instead of fat cells after a workout. We think of insulin as a key that opens a muscle cell's door, for the purpose of letting energy in. This daily variance can also make it a lot more tolerable to eat in a deficit. The deficit can be present on just a few days a week, whereas on workout day you eat at maintenance, but weekly you eat in a deficit. This makes fat loss more bearable and living lean a breeze because the high calorie days are surfing the insulin sensitive wave straight into Gaines Beach. Secret number 6, take a walk after you put the fork down. This secret also helps improve insulin sensitivity. It also helps improve digestion. Remember, improved digestion also makes for a happy brain that doesn't have to expend more energy on a typical routine activity. Even better, now we have another link in our habit cycle. I love this secret, and it's one I swear by for any sedentary person. It will single-handedly change your life. The extra steps you get help towards your total daily energy expenditure. High total daily energy expenditure equals more calories to eat. I think that's some simple math that concludes how awesome this secret is. Mimic the success of past cultures. It's great family practice to bring into play whenever possible. This little habit fortifies your physical, mental and emotional health. As a young parent, you really don't need another excuse to get them off the screens too. This tip will change your life, I promise. Secret number 7, maximizing testosterone by any means. There's lots of ways to boost our testosterone naturally. And that's because most of us are suppressing it from all directions. It's not likely by reaching max natural testosterone you'll turn superhuman or anything, but you will feel inherently stronger in every way. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, distress are the big four suppressing our testosterone every day. And there is a lot that can be done about them, but that's not this video. What we will say is that there is one category of suppressants we didn't list yet that, unlike the other four, actually attack you. This next secret is a major reason why without an antioxidant-rich diet, it is really hard to lose fat fast, and feel good at the same time. Secret number 8 is avoid VOCs and pollutants by all means. Plastic, pharmaceuticals, commercials, toxins and volatile organic compounds linger across every corner of this planet. All of them enjoy attacking your health and mimic things like estrogen, while others completely shut down parts of your brain. It's no secret we live in a toxic world. Climate change is mentioned at least twice an hour on every major news station. It is impossible to fully avoid these testosterone assassins. But we can block some of their damage by making the switch to organic products. Clothing, cologne, soaps, cleaners and air fresheners all in their own way disturb your health. These non-organic compounds dive deep into our cells and are aggressive enough to scrub the paint off the walls. Man-made pollutants are completely incompatible with our bodies and require huge amounts of micronutrients and time to get rid of. It takes a great amount of time, effort and diligence to stop using non-organic products, but it is a part of the long-term lifestyle that is necessary to optimize one's health. Later, we'll make a video or perhaps a whole series on this one subtopic so you lifters can be better armed. For right now, just know intuitively that if it is synthetic, it is just incompatible with our organic bodies. Not every lean person practices all 8 of these secret tips, but those that practice all 8 are most definitely fit, healthy and full of energy. Start by taking noticing of the habits that already fit into your life. Then add new ones, one by one, in the order that makes the most sense for you, until you have all the secret habits running on autopilot. Thanks for watching another Lesson Lifter. We hope at least one of these secret popped out at you. Check out the caption and join our free fitness challenge for new lifters looking to build traction on their fat loss journey. Lastly, don't forget to be subscribed to catch all the future episodes. We drop a new one daily. Take care, lifter.